I was doing good sell. On my 19-year-old mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, we had a missionary guide. And in the missionary guide, they taught us how to fool people. We were just 19 years old. What did we know? I actually knew a lot because I had been through seminary, been through Institute at Rick's, attended church, watched conference through osmosis. And so it taught that we were supposed to build relationships of trust, build on common beliefs, and there was one other, but resolving concerns. It's probably something like follow-up. And it's the resolving concerns. Again, we were 19 years old. The church didn't even teach us about the concerns that those who are not Mormon hear about by word of mouth. We didn't have Google or the internet back then. And so the church, I guess, was hoping that there wouldn't be the concerns that obviously they knew was coming one day as we get more advanced in technology. But as I'm doing these videos, I'm faced with a new missionary force. The majority of the people that come to my site have been my age, the age bracket and above. And so this group should understand that the relationship of trust is gone, because I'm talking about things that Mormons have not heard about, because I hadn't heard about them, and I'm discovering them, and I'm telling people about them. Specifically targeting Mormons, though my titles don't target Mormons. They do target my type of character, though. And so, yes, I know my age group, and that's why YouTube is confirming that. But there are many other Mormons, especially Utah Mormons, who don't want to hear anything negative about the church, who don't want to hear truth because they don't consider it truth. To them, it's lies and anti-Mormon literature and fake news and fake history. And they don't stop and think, well, the church has confessed to lying to you about church history. The church has confessed to lying to you about so many things. And yet you're still trusting the church after they've confessed. Building on common beliefs has been tough because of my education. It makes it difficult to build on common beliefs, especially here in Utah, when I've recognized that Mormons don't believe as I grew up in the church to believe. It's a completely different doctrine here. It's more centered around being Christian, which is weird. Because I grew up knowing Jesus Christ told Joseph all Christian religions are wrong. And their creeds are an abomination. And so I come here to Utah and they want to be Christian. You know, faith is the Christian faith. And the only thing different is the God. They don't believe in Trinity like Christians do. But everything else, doctrinally, it's all Christian. And then, of course, we have temple and prophets. But Mormons don't see that as different than Christian. Because they just quote the Bible passage of Christ's church is made up of prophets, and apostles, and evangelists. And so Mormons think that they're able to build relationships of trust with Christians. But with the Preach My Gospel, that's all been thrown out the window. They don't want you building relationships of trust, building on common beliefs, resolving concerns, because the concerns are too severe right now. And so they've focused their attention on getting the missionaries with the missionary or the Preach My Gospel to just go with the Spirit. Just have faith. Just trust in the Lord. And everything will work out. Not a single thing about getting results. Because faith gets results. Not if you just do nothing with it. And Mormons got suckered into that. So that's heartbreaking to see my cultural people, because Mormonism is not just a religion, it's a culture as well, similar to Jews, similar to Islam. And yeah, by recognizing the truth, well, even before then, as I found out Joseph Smith was an actual translator. He made errors, but I recognized him as a translator. I figured it out. And the woman formerly called my first wife, divorced me for it. I don't want my kids learning Hebrew. My parents, my dad thought he was going to silence me by having me take the Egyptian computer test to see how poorly I would do, because he did poorly, so therefore I'm going to do poorly. I aced it. My dad's eyes were like, Not too dissimilar from when he punched me in high school, thinking that I was going to have a belly of jelly, and instead it was hard as a steel beam. And that was such a proud day in my life. Yeah, because I pursued translation, my family turned on me. The church turned on me. I was labeled a troublemaker, and they had a file, Troublemaker File, created in church headquarters for me. 36434. And so, yeah, they had me disappeared. So when I hear the news, East Idaho News, type that into YouTube, East Idaho News. They have part one of an interview with Lori Vallow's best friend, I guess. She disappeared, and so she finally came out, and she's holding this interview. It's going to be a 5-part interview, I guess, and the first one came out already, and she said that, you know, people are getting kidnapped and murdered around me, people I know. And so that's why she went into hiding, because she had no clues if she was going to be next. And I know exactly how she feels. I had people kidnapped around me, children kidnapped from me, and people tried to murder me, destroy my life financially and physically. From my own culture. And that's the Mormon way. And I watch Mormons when I made comments on ex-Mormons or those who were investigating and talking about the church critically. I would have people, Mormons, come after me saying, hey, we're trying to convert her and bring her into the church or bring her back to the church. That's why we're being friendly. They just confess that it's all a deception. They just want numbers in the church so that they can claim, hey, I got this person in the church. Yeah, but how is it going now? Mormons abandon people. Got them in? Great. Now do your own thing. Take care of yourself. Isn't church great? And if you leave the church, they say, you betrayed us. They take it personally. And so the missionary tactics to use on investigators, they don't work on Mormons. Because Mormons instantly identify betrayal, and they refuse to allow you to resolve their concern, because you are now the devil to them, when they themselves are acting like demons, because they're not acting like Christ. Kidnapping, murders, violence, anger, other forms of torture, financial neglect, shunning, all sorts of emotional blackmail. And so that's just what I'm going over today, is that Lori Vallow friend came out of hiding finally. I still have to wait. I'm expecting Friday. I doubt the judge did anything today. I'd be surprised. But yeah, the church has to be held accountable. Anybody who commits a crime must be held accountable. Forgive and forget does not apply. Because people say, oh, you have to forgive and forget me. When you do that, guess what they do? They do it again. And you get to be a punching bag for them. Let's see, we're looking up for this one, aren't we? And so, yeah, you've got to stand up, like Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, and not let them push you around. No, the judge hasn't done anything today, or at least in the afternoon. And like I said, I hope it's Friday, because that would be perfect timing with the Jewish holiday, Pentecost, when Moses received the law and punished the wicked heathen worshiping the golden calf, prancing around naked and not providing video footage. It's so amazing how Mormons are so paranoid, and yet they have deep, dark secrets of lust. Wonder if there's a porn for that. Mormon porn. Wouldn't that be funny? I'm sure there is. There's probably porn for everything if you know where to look. I get people making comments by posting links to crap. Alright. I'm done for the day because I'm just going to start rambling off on nonsense. But, I mean, we've got people dying now. How many more lives have to die before they're going to say, hey, maybe we should start saving lives? Maybe we should start preventing further deaths. You know, as somebody who's been trained and certified and all that, and all the various first responders, it's just, I feel helpless because I know what was to be done from the beginning, and nobody would listen to me, and now the consequences are here. This is not the church I grew up in.